The Food Trust got involved with this because the thing that sparked us around this was in 1999, there was a research study that came out that showed that Philadelphia had the second fewest number of supermarkets in the country. And so we thought, my gosh, how can that be possible? We went through, we actually mapped, where was there a lack of supermarkets in Philadelphia, and then we mapped where were the highest rates of diet-related deaths, and we found that the two overlay perfectly. And so we took this is before people were talking about food deserts or any of this, right? This is where we really had to we still had to build the case. We had to show evidence. We had to go door to door and say to people, look at this, and there's something going on here. There's something serious going on here. And City Council, we took this information to City Council, and City Council members said, you know what, why don't you guys pull together a task force and try to come up with some policy solutions for us. Out of that process, we came up with 10 policy recommendations. One of them was something which is now called the Fresh Food Financing Initiative, which is a mouthful. But essentially, during the task force process, we learned from the grocery operators themselves that there were certain barriers. And they were saying, if you can just get us over these humps, we think we could actually be successful. And those humps have to do with financing specifically. I want to make sure to credit one of the visionaries around this. Representative Dwight Evans is the guy behind the mic. Very powerful guy in Pennsylvania. He's also the head of the Appropriations Committee in Pennsylvania. Representative Evans was really a visionary around this because people had tried to get supermarkets in low-income areas before and lost a lot of money doing this. But he said, let's take a risk. We're going to work with you and a group called the Reinvestment Fund, which is a very key partner in this. These are smart guys. They know how to do loans in a really smart way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a lot of flexibility, and I want you guys to call me when there's the ribbon cuttings. So he gave us, we said, okay, we can do that. So we were lucky in that, we were joking about once government gets involved, usually that means that you have the tight grip around you. One of the brilliant things about Representative Evans is that he trusted the Reinvestment Fund and he trusted the Food Trust to make it happen. So here's one of those maps I was telling you about. The areas in red are the areas that we call the areas of greatest need. So these are the areas with low supermarket access, low supermarket sales, I should say, low income, and also high diet-related deaths. The dots there are the projects that have been done since 2004 through the Fresh Food Financing Initiative. In Philadelphia, there's been 18 projects funded to date. Throughout the state of Pennsylvania, there have been over 80 projects funded. There's also economic benefits to this as well. 5,000 jobs created and retained, over 1 million square feet retail space, over 500,000 Pennsylvanians who lacked access to fresh food now have access. So here's an example of one of the stores. One of the things that people say to me is, are these really nice stores? What kind of stores are these, Is the quality, is this really quality stores? Like a store I want to go to? This is one of the stores. So these are beautiful stores, right? And it's every kind of store, everything from a small corner store to a large store. But this is one of the more recent ones that opened up in Philadelphia. This is the Fresh Grocer. This is actually the supermarket that the First Lady came out to visit in February. But this particular supermarket has a great story to it. It's in a plaza called Progress Plaza in Philadelphia. And it's the oldest African-American owned shopping plaza in the country. There was a civil rights leader there, Reverend Leon Sullivan. In 1968, he got 4,000 people to give $360. A lot of people putting in $36 a month over a series of months. They all pulled together enough resources to build a shopping center. And but up until recently, there was it had fallen into decay. There was maybe a Radio Shack there and like a dollar store. And there hadn't been a supermarket at the plaza for over 10 years. But thanks to help with the Fresh Food Financing Initiative, we were able to open up this gorgeous Fresh Grocer. And now the plaza looks beautiful, right? And the supermarkets, another great thing about supermarkets is they can serve as an anchor. Now there's all these other stores that are opening up, right? People are coming into shops, so then the other stores want to open up, and it turns into this beautiful cycle where everybody's winning. So now we're working to replicate the success of the Fresh Food Financing Initiative, and We've gone on to create programs now in New York, Illinois, Louisiana, one specifically for the city of New Orleans. I did just want to let you all know also that we have been funded by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation to now expand this to an additional 8 states, and that includes the state of Georgia. Thanks.